Hello guys, so welcome to the second channel. If you're new here and you don't know what's going on, normally I do plant-based videos in science. That can be houseplants, outdoor gardens, you name it, and this is more of like my fun channel, almost a vlog channel, but more practical, let's just say that. And today I want to show you how I use the entire plant from harvesting, in particular root vegetables. So this one I did beets and carrots, but I also did kale, and I did kale with like a little bit of a heavier spine in it. So I'm going to show you what I use the spine for. And then I also did onion tops. So whenever my onions kind of begin folding over and they aren't quite sitting upright, I actually just remove at the crease and then I will dehydrate them. So the two that I'm making today are frozen. You can see the little frosty, I just took them out of the freezer, but frozen greens, I guess you could say. And what I do with this is I dump it in pastas, stir fries, pretty much smoothies, anywhere I can hide this. And I will put like one ball per pasta sauce recipe. I don't put it in my pasta sauce when I'm actually physically making it. I do it at the time of cooking. And so inside of this I have beet leaves, kale, spinach, carrot greens. Don't have any green onion tops. That's actually in my dehydrated stuff. So out of my batch that I did this last round, I got a total of 4 of these big guys. I have one, I guess, technically that's like a really large one. So I'm just guesstimating that 2 of those would fit. One of that would fit 2 of these guys. So basically, my entire process is really simple. I will first wash the plant leaves, the product, within an inch of its life. So I just wash and wash and wash until the water is completely running clear. This is important because anyone who's new at gardening or has ever bitten into something that tastes a little bit grainy, it's because there's some soil in there, which isn't, harmful by any means. It's just distracting and not the most elegant experience, I guess you could say. So I do wash it basically within an inch of its life. And then after that, I will chop everything. So I will first chop the stems and take out any sort of ribbing or spines inside of it. Then I take the greens and I chop them farther. After that, I get a pot of boiling water going, and you have to just keep on getting new water. And then I will boil all my greens without any stems in them for about 5 to 6 minutes until they aren't quite, you don't want them to be mushy is basically what it comes down to. Then I'll throw them in a colander and I will run cold water over them just to stop the cooking process. Now some people will say that you're supposed to put it in an ice bath or whatever the case is. I just do the cold water and I'm done. After that point, I will shape them into balls to actually make the green balls. And then after that point, I take all my stems and all my hard bits, along with some greens, depending. So like for the carrots, for example, I just had way too many carrot greens. So I did dry some of those. And then all I do is lay them out on my dehydrator, and I run my dehydrators on medium or around 150 degrees Fahrenheit for approximately 8 hours. Now you can do more than this, you can do less than that, depending on what you want the end result to look like. So I personally like a non-leathery green. After I'm done, I want them dry, because I will usually, if I don't use these, like a quarter cup is around 1 cup of fresh greens. So if I don't use them whole in a stir fry, and I want to put them like into a pasta sauce, or say I want to use them for seasoning of some sort, I will grind them down. So I do want them to be very, very dry, and the stems in particular will come out what we call leathery, only because they haven't been dehydrated enough. So I just like dehydrate them within an inch of their life. But again, if you want leathery and you just want to do like a Mylar bag or some sort of setup like that, then of course go ahead. I just always get creeped out because I think if I have it in a mason jar and I leave my stems leathery, then it could mold. And even if I do, like I do vacuum seal my jars, especially if I know that I'm not going to be using those greens in a while, I will vacuum seal. And then these I'm going to put into freezer bags, and I'm going to vacuum seal the actual freezer bag itself. And I'll do these in 2s because I will use usually one of these a week. And so if it'll last in the freezer just uncovered for a week before I use the next one. And so this last batch that I just did, that you guys are kind of watching me film, was spurred by thinning without thinning. So I was thinning my crops, and this is kind of me just using what otherwise would be composted for eats. So out of that, I have pretty much like a 5-month-ish supply of greens for stir fries and pasta sauces if I was to use basically 1 ball-ish a week type thing. So it's actually pretty good, and I encourage you guys to check it out or try it out. You guys have to let me know in the comments down below if you want more videos on how to use the whole plant, because there's like lots of ways to, like, corn, for example, you can even use like the cob. Anyways, I've literally pulled almost anything and everything out of my butt. So there is a way to make pesto from the carrot greens as well. If you guys want a video on that, let me know and I can do that. I'm just not sure how many people are pesto people out there, but it's actually pretty delicious. And then there's like a Mexican sauce type stuff that you can also do, interestingly enough, with the carrot greens as well. So that's something to keep in mind. And then obviously the carrots that I harvested and the beets I harvested are just going to be fresh eats here for the next little bit, because I don't have enough necessarily to do like a preservation run. But when I do get enough harvested for a preservation run, I'll let you guys know what I do with that, because obviously that is going to be a little bit different. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, because this is a brand new channel with nobody on it yet, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.